Um, Good evening. I'd like to welcome everybody to the show. If you're watching this video on YouTube, I'd like to welcome you to my channel. It's good to see you. If you are watching this on YouTube, do come by the show. We're on every Sunday night here on Blog TV. Show starts at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. We have a lot of great folks that hang out in the chat, a lot of great music, a lot of great times. It's a lot of fun. Not to toot my own horn. But, alright, this is my weekly update. First, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. Always good to see you guys and gals. Before I go any further, I'd like to do a quick recap on some things that took place after last week's show. Everyone that was here knows that there was no shortage of haters here last week, and there was a little backlash from that. Nothing major that I'm losing sleep over, but a pain in the ass nonetheless, and there are a few things that I'd like to address. Number one, first and foremost, I'd like to thank the guys, all y'all that had ops that were here last week. I know y'all had your hands full dealing with everything, and again, I'd like to say thanks for keeping the chat under control. You folks did a phenomenal job. Second thing, there was a chatter here last week that seemed a little sensitive to naughty words. I'd just like to say that I've never considered this a G-rated show, and the same goes for the chat. During shows like last week's, I understood the sensitivity of some of the things that we were talking about, and I held myself in check. There could have been kids listening and could be an earshot. However, as we all know, and Deb pointed out at her show last week, we get haters here on Blog TV all the time, especially when the guest chat is unlocked, like it was last week, and they post things a lot harsher in the chat than shit. My point is that if someone is going to have their kids an eye shot, not just an earshot, but an eye shot of the computer, the chat, then they need to understand that this is a show for adults. During a normal show, I have no problem uttering one of George Carlin's 7 nasty words. However, during special events like last week, I do tend to restrain myself. However, I do not expect you guys to censor yourselves, okay? Maybe since we might have someone who doesn't understand this, when people come into the chat and complain that the kids can see the language being used in the chat, perhaps we should kick them to protect the kids from seeing the bad words. I don't know. Although I will say you folks handled that particular situation very well. I gotta commend you for that. Next item is I did record the first 2 hours of the show last week, but because of some of the fallout from it, I decided to remove those videos. I was being accused of editing the videos, which I did not, by the way, along with some of the other comical things that were being said. And there were some things that were said in the videos during the show or were recorded in the chats along with the videos that didn't need to be recorded anyway. The point of the show was to bring additional attention to Kyron's case. We accomplished that and continued to do so without having the videos posted, so I deleted them. Something very interesting, I'm getting emails from people on YouTube looking for them, which I think is very interesting since I never even posted them on YouTube, and I'm not going to. There is simply no need. And while I am obviously a huge proponent of finding missing children, that is not generally the main focus of the show. While I borrow it on occasion to bring attention to other causes, we are primarily a music show here. And the next item, while I don't usually address haters, I would like to tell some of you guys that are calling me an asshole, a fool, a liar, and all this other shit something. I want to thank you. I really want to thank you. In case you're wondering what I'm thanking you for, it's for the free publicity that you're giving me. I'm serious. Bad publicity is better than none, and I'm sure it will continue to bring people out to the show, and I have no doubt at all that at least some of them will appreciate the music and the good times we have here. I guess I shouldn't tell you that the tension that the haters tried to bring here last week was the exception, not the rule. And generally, we have a lot of fun here, and I know that even people coming here to see what it's really all about, looking for something to use against me or my guest from last week, will instead find themselves doing one of two things. Either joining the fun, becoming a part of the show, becoming part of the family, or realizing there is no drama here and leave. Now, on to other things. As I'm sure many of you know, Deb and I are putting together another music event on August 21st starting at noon Eastern Time. If you are a musician and have gotten an invite to this event, I would very strongly suggest you respond quickly because the time slots are filling up really fast. This one is looking to be a lot of fun and I'm really looking forward to it, and I know Deb is as well. The final item is if you're in Oklahoma City on July 25th, stop by Danny's Blue Saloon in Oklahoma City. They will be doing a tribute to our dear departed friend J.D. Stiegel. Not sure if anyone is out there in that neck of the woods, but I promised the person that emailed me about it that I would put the word out, so there it is. That's it for the update. I'll close this window and take comments and questions from the chat. Wow. Okay, we scroll up here. Okay. Thank you for dropping the link, Kevin. It is a lotta. Deb was okay. Ping pong. Did you come here to start some poo-poo? Yeah, that's yeah. You're right, Deb. Them are fighting words. You know, Deb, that's a very good point. Deb from Unsigned Musician says that show was about Kyron, and a lot of people were here, but a lot of them seem much more concerned about their personal glory trip rather than finding Kyron. You know, Deb, I have to absolutely agree with that. Some of the things that were going on here tell me that exact same thing. And I know that a lot of them were from some of the rival Facebook groups that split off from the one that Judy had started. Basically just kind of, I don't know if they were trying to run the show down or what, but instead of helping us bring attention to Kyron's case, instead they just wanted to be a bunch of jackasses and try to screw up the show. Little did they realize that with the operators that we have here hanging out at the show every week, it's like a little teeny mouse walking into a room full of cats. So, yeah, it was insane. So, honestly, yeah, it did seem. That's exactly what it is. They were attempting to attack Judy, and she was just here to bring attention to Kyron's case. I think so too, Lee. I think that's what the majority of them were here to do, and that I don't know what they were. I don't know what the agenda was. It was just really crazy. I've never had in the year and handful of months that I've been doing shows here on Blog TV, and we did shows over on Blog Talk Radio for a long time as well. I never had a chat go crazy like that. I can say that their focus wasn't on Kyron, at least last Sunday. Ours was, theirs wasn't. I don't think they did, Kev. And that's just really a damn shame because, especially with some of the things that came out afterwards, that they were looking for things that they thought we had said that we didn't say, or things that might have been talked about during the show that was never recorded. When they went through all my videos, they were trying to say that I had edited the videos, which I did not do. I only recorded like the first 2 hours because the last hour that we were on with Judy, we kept talking about some of the same things that we had already discussed. So there was no point in recording it. So that was pretty much that. Yeah, exactly. It was more about me, personal glory trip. You're right. I think so too. I really do. There's some bullshit they tried to bring here last week. I gotta get my hat off to you guys, and I'll tell you what, tonight it's just nice. I love it when new people come to the show, but some nights it's just nice to have the family here. It really is, y'all. But yeah, that was just insane. But I wanted to address all that because it was just a lot of insanity. Oh, and the last thing, I'm gonna say this too, and I don't care who it pisses off. It won't be anybody in the room right now, so I'm really not concerned. There is a lot of he said, she said bullshit that goes on Blog TV, and all I ask those folks who listen to one side of the story, number one, consider the source. Number two, there are two sides to every story. Go to the other person, just flat out ask them what's going on. And then either decide who you believe or take the two stories and put them together. Seriously, and don't bring it to my show because I don't play the game. Okay. I refuse to. I absolutely refuse to. Attention seekers. I think that'd be about right, Deb. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. Be adults. Seriously. We're all here to have a good time. We're all here, especially at the music shows, to enjoy the music, to celebrate music, to share music, fellowship with each other, have a good time. I put my avatar back up about the no drama zone, and I sincerely mean that. And honestly, just don't even come here. Don't even bother. And that's it for the recording. If you're watching this on YouTube, have a great week.